Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about all of these things that are placed before me. So what has been happening? So the last time that we last spoke, I told you guys that I wasn't really happy with my planning system. I love the bullet journaling style, but I was feeling like I was disconnected with the things that I needed to get done. And ultimately, I pushed away from that and moved into something that was a bit smaller. So I've been using my pocket notebook, my pocket Penco notebook, to just basically write tasks and reminders and upcoming events. And that has worked out great for a quick fix to the things that I need to get done. But I was still feeling really unhappy with how I was capturing the information and remembering things that needed to be done, like registering to vote or simple stuff that I have to do medical wise, or the stuff that I need to do for my son and getting him ready for school next year. So a lot of these things were kind of just slipping through the cracks. And and also with all the planner releases that have come out in the last couple of weeks and month, I've also felt FOMO and have also reconsidered whether or not I would really purchase something or wouldn't really purchase something. So there's a lot of what ifs as to what I wanted to do. So the one thing that I know that I can do is I can take the things that I like and make them work for me. And that's what I did. I went super old school. I've been on YouTube for a little over 12 years, 11 years at this point. And yeah, I've been on YouTube for a while. So I remember the days when all of the fancy stuff didn't exist. So I incorporated a little bit of that back into my life because regardless of how they look, they work. And that's what we want right now. At least for me, that's what I want. I want it to work. So let me just walk through what I have going on here. My journals are still going strong. Those are the one things that have been successful for me this year. It's just like journaling, creative journaling, junk journaling, whatever you want to call it, memory keeping. That has been going really strong. And honestly, I think that aside from planning, that may be another passion, just like physically filling up a book with memories and things that have happened throughout the year. So who knows? So I have quite a bit of a stack here, and all of this is what I will be transitioning into for October and for the foreseeable future. So quick reference, I have a 6-month planner, a 2-year planner, and an undated hand or homemade planner underneath these stacks. So let's start with the first thing. All right, so now that we've moved things out of view and we're focusing on this guy, I'll zoom you guys in just a little bit. I am so excited about this. If you know, then you know. So if you remember, I shared a bunch of Clever Fox planners in the beginning, and I was going back and forth about what I wanted to do. I have the Clever Fox 2nd edition weekly and 2 daily planners, and then one they sent me, which was a premium just to try out. And so I didn't want to use those options because if I decide to use this planner for next year, I wanted to at least have all of my things ready to go. So I asked my husband to get this for me using some points. So we didn't actually spend money. We used some credit card points, and yeah, kind of got it pretty much for nothing. So I actually got this one. I purchased this one, or ordered this one, and this is the one that I set up. And I did this because I wanted to try it out again and really get a feel for the planner all over again, as I did a few months ago, or more so last year. And there are quite a bit of things that I'm really, really hyper focused on right now. Part of it is like my weight, my health, things like that. Those are the things that I'm super, super fixed on right now. And so, what better way to do that than to set some realistic goals for myself? So, yes, of course, I jumped back into a goal planner. I've been kind of hinting at some things that are added to my system. And I believe a lot of you thought that this was a bullet journal. And I'm going to show you how I'm using it. Won't be technically bullet journal, but it will be very similar. And yes, it is all the things that you normally don't see on my channel. All of that is in here. Now, I do have a second one that is the exact same color as this one. I actually ended up messing up the cover on that book. So yeah, that's when I ended up getting this one kind of for nothing, basically. But I'm using the other one as like a tester, samples and stuff like that. And then also I can show you guys sample pages of how I would use it versus jacking up the ones that I'm currently using, because regardless of how many I have, I actually use these things. So this planner here is the Clever Fox Daily. It is the second edition. And as you know, notice I did put some tabs on it. I have October through March. And I also put these little charms on here. They do not come on here. But I did put these little charms on here because I wanted this to be a fun planner. My system, my bullet journals have been very boring lately. They've been kind of minimal. And I don't know, I'm watching a lot of content on YouTube and I'm just really not into how everyone else is doing stuff, and then looking at my own stuff and I'm like, it looks very similar to theirs. And I just need to branch away from that and just use the stuff and use up my stickers and use up my stash and just use some more unpopular products that don't get a lot of highlight in the planning community. So yeah, I wanted to show though that you can still make a relatively inexpensive planner like the Clever Fox planner really fancy or fun. I don't know if you could consider that, but I wanted to show you at least that you can customize it to basically fit your needs. A lot of inspiration though came from seeing videos on the Passion Planner as well as the Commit 30. So I wanted to give you an idea, like if you are obsessed with either one of those products, the Passion Planner or the Commit 30, you could still do those things in the Clever Fox. And don't sleep on Clever Fox. They have a vast majority of products that are geared towards every need you can think of, and they have some really good products and paper. So if you haven't tried a Clever Fox, maybe it might be the time to try a Clever Fox. But I did go ahead and like put these charms on here. They were not easy to put on here. I don't know if someone's gonna ask me how I did that, but they were not easy to put on here. And yeah, but I did put them on here. There's a bow, there's milk, and there's a cookie, and then there's a bear patch. So this planner is what it entails. It is a goal planner and it is a daily. So of course, for my planner, I had to customize. So I customized this cover, the inside cover. They do not come like this. I mentioned this in a video from last year when I showed the inside and everyone was wondering how I got that. They do not come like this. They do come with just a white interior. But I like to customize. So I customized, I added some adhesive pockets, I added a card that says my wishes for you, and it's something simple but yet meaningful. I've added my routine cards. I've added the trackers that I'm using, or the calendar trackers that I'm using to track my workouts and also the books that I read. And I added a card that just says to enjoy life. You might have seen this card in some of my traveler notebook setups. So there you have it. And of course, because I wanted this to be very personal and inviting for me, I went with a bear and colorful theme because I wanted it to be very inviting, and I wanted to branch away from what we've been seeing lately, which is just like elegance and minimal and all the things that just scream like high end. Like, I just wanted to push away from that and do something that isn't usually seen in the planner community, because everyone's trying to follow the minimalistic approach. And I wanted to let you know that planning is sometimes messy and colorful and crazy. So I want to show a little bit of that here. So yeah, the inside cover is done. I also have my nameplate right there. You might have seen this when I shared whether or not I was going to use the Happy Planner. I do believe at some point in time I will definitely use my Happy Planner, but until then it just sits and waits for me to touch it. All right, so this planner jumps into your gratitude and your passions, your daily rituals and affirmations. And so what I did is I sat down and I stenciled hearts to basically be like the bullet points, and I wrote my gratitudes, rituals, or skills that I want to learn, what I'm passionate about and why, and my affirmations. And I left a little bit of space this time so that if I find some more things that I'm really grateful for, or some more things that I want to learn, or some more affirmations that I want to tell myself, I can write them here. The next thing in here is my vision board. I don't know if you guys remember my vision board from last year when I did this in a Clever Fox, but I love vision boards. I love doing vision boards. When I was in my early 20s, every New Year's Eve, we would sit down and we would do a vision board for what we wanted our year to look like. I actually manifested my 2018 vision board. I wanted to get a better job. I wanted to get a car. I wanted to get married. I wanted quite a bit of things from that vision board. A lot of it actually came true. I ended up meeting the guy of my dreams. I got married. I got a new car. I got a better job. So many things from that vision board really came true for me. And I honestly believe in the vision board. Like, if you can see it, then it is achievable. So I like doing a vision board. I have some basic goals for myself. I'm kind of pushing away from social media. I've been on social media since 2010. Actually, I've been on social media way before that, because MySpace, if you guys remember MySpace, for anyone who knows about MySpace, that is MySpace. And then when Facebook came out, we were all on that. And then when Instagram first came out, we were all on that. And this was all around the time when I was like a teenager and middle schooler. So I've been on social media for quite some time. And so I don't know, in my early 30s, I'm just kind of, I've lived that era. I'm just kind of pushing away from it a little bit. So I would love to kind of slow down with social media, ride my bike more, read more, learn something. I really want to take some math classes, and I'm getting ready to take a few math classes. I really wanted to take some writing classes and things like that. So these are a few things that I will be learning over the course of a few months. I want to save money. I want to work on my marriage. I want to have more date nights, more family time. I want to go outside. I want to spend time with my son. I want to work on self-care. Over the years, after having my son, I kind of just let myself go, and I need to focus on me in order to be the best version of me so that I can take care of everyone else. If I'm falling apart and I'm not feeling my best, there's no way that I can help everyone else. So yeah, I want to work on self-care. I want to do better, have better sleep. I want to eat better. So all of these things I think are achievable. And yeah, that's my vision board. My goals are simple. I think everyone has these same kind of goals, like saving money and learning something or doing something, going somewhere or spending time, meditating or whatever health goals, family goals, relationship goals. I think these are all realistic and achievable. And so I just list them out here. And of course, I started using my stickers because I have a bunch of sticker books. And let's be honest, if I am not going to use them, I need to give them away. So I'm going to use as much of the stash that I have, and then whatever else I don't use rather, I'm just going to give it away because it's no point in hoarding it anymore. I have a lot of stuff in my stash, and honestly, I just need to use it. All right, and so I chose 5 goals that I want to focus on. A lot of them are the bigger ones that are more important to me, and I just made 3 or 2 check boxes to go along with how I want to achieve that goal. And when I do achieve it, or when I do tackle it, I'm going to check it off, and this is going to hold me accountable. So I'm hoping that this planner really helps me to get back on track with some of the things that I want versus some of the things that I want to do for others. A lot of it in this planner is geared towards me, and I want to focus on all of that for myself. This is supposed to be a mind map. However, I just was like, I don't really care for mind maps. If I need to do a mind map, I can do it on a sheet of paper. But instead, I just turned it into like a calendar overview. So I have October through December for 2025, and then January through March for 2026. And then these are the important dates, and all I did was put in the ones that would specifically be in this particular planner. Because I'm starting it in the 4th quarter, I do have just October through November wrote in, and it'll go into the 1st quarter of next year. So I do have January through March. This is the first monthly. I chose to do stickers to do the dates. This is going to add a little bit of color and life and excitement back into my planner because, as you've noticed throughout the last couple of months, it's been very minimal and just handwritten. And not that I'm against my handwriting, I just want to add a little bit more color back into my stuff. I want to use my stickers again, and I want to make it so that I'm obligated to open it. I'm obligated to touch it and engage with it. And the more I engage with it, the more prone I am to seeing the things that I need to get done. And the more excited I am to sit down and fill out the things and put the stickers down. So it's more of a tactic for accomplishing stuff by being more intentional with just opening it, because I think that's the problem that I'm having right now, is that I kind of just fill out the stuff and then I forget that I need to check it. So I think that if I can incorporate my stickers back into play and make the check boxes and do all of this stuff, it'll make me not only open it, but it'll give me something to look forward to do at the end of every week. At the end of every week, I know, or at the end of every month, I know I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do the stickers for my monthly. I'm going to do all the printing for my calendars or whatever the case may be. I'm going to do it, and it's going to make me sit down and engage with my planner a lot more. Not something that you need to do necessarily, but if you are struggling, maybe trying a different way to, engage with your planner might help. And again, that's why I think the creative journaling that I've been doing this year has really worked, because I've been sitting down and I've been printing out the pictures and writing little snippets and collecting things to put in it. And so that kind of engagement that I'm having between me and the journaling process has really made it stick, because I have something to look forward to. I have something that I need to do in order to keep up with it. So I'm just trying to incorporate that same process here. Down at the bottom, I have a section where it says this month's goals. So it's just going to be some things that I need to do. If you've seen any of the Clever Fox planners, they always have this section over here to the left where it says the habits you want to adopt, skills to learn, things to avoid, places to go, and people to see. And then you have this month's wins, and then this would actually say how I will improve next month. But I covered it with a monthly calendar and just kind of highlighted some of the holidays that or holidays or events that are coming up. And so yeah, this way I don't have to keep flipping to this. This is the overview, but this is for the month. And then I just have the week and the day, one day set up. So all the rest of them are basically blank, but I do have a good chunk of it set up for right now. I do have a mock, and it's very colorful-esque. So I do have a mock of what I've been playing around with, and I'll show you that really quick. So I've been playing around with how I want to use the daily pages. And so I did a few pages actually. So this is kind of how I want to do it, minus the coloring. I don't think I'm going to do like this big coloring, but I wanted to at least play around with how I could break up these days, because I want to get better at time management, and I want to get better at breaking up my day so that I'm still getting stuff done and it's not like last minute, or you know what I mean. So I've been kind of playing around with how I want to use it. I was playing around with like what happens when you have like blank days and you feel like there's nothing going on, there's nothing happening. Like, what could you do here? I could journal in space, I could doodle. I don't usually do this anymore, but I used to doodle a lot. But I can doodle, I can draw banners and stuff like that. But I just wanted to like play around with the spreads. I did decide that I would use stencils, and I wanted to stencil in like a sun and a cloud to kind of break up the days so that it looks like, okay, so this is AM and then this is the evening time, and then anything I need to take like medications, like mine's would be here, my son's would be here. I can make a checkbox next to those and I can check them off. Time that I spend with my husband could be here. I could stencil in arrows. So I was just playing around with icons and things like that, just to give me a little bit more of a visual, and also make me or to have me able to, you know, just sit down and just be in my planner, because that's the problem that I'm having right now, is I'm just not really in it, and it's pushing me away. And a lot of times when you rely solely on memory, it never works. Like, I could say that, oh, don't worry about it, I'll remember, and I'll still forget. So yeah. And then the to-do list is such a small space. There's not a whole lot of space. There's 8 boxes plus your top 3. But I was thinking, because of this, maybe I could write out my AM and PM routines in the daily schedule part and break them off, so that way I can see like, okay, so these are all the things we do in these hours during this time, and then I could check them off. And then I could still have the times when I take my medications or my son takes his, and we can still check them off. So I'm just playing around with the layout here and trying to dissect how I want to go about tackling the daily pages, because for me, that is going to be the biggest thing that I will be focused on this time around. It's just like trying to get better days, or trying to do better days. And also, my husband's schedule will be changing drastically, and it will be a rotating schedule this time. So a lot of responsibilities that I didn't have during certain hours of the day may change now. And so, yeah, I just need to get better at like my routines and stuff like that. So this little routine card that I had will probably change often now, where it didn't before. It will more likely change more often now that there are different things happening in our life. So yeah, that is how I'm deciding to use this daily page. But I did go checkbox crazy. I think that if you are a lister, the checkbox like visual is appealing because it's a little box that you can check off, and when you can check it off you feel really good about it. So I think that that is probably the best thing. It might look a little overkill, but I think that for a person who is a lister, that is like a perfect visual for you. All right, so what's going on in the back of said planner? So in the back of this planner, I got these printables from the Passion Planner. If you use the Passion Planner, then you probably already know where I got these from. But yeah, I got these from the Passion Planner. They are just monthly calendars, and all I'm going to use them for is mood tracking because I'm working on my weight, and also because I really want to understand my body more. I'm in the midst of trying to create a brand new team of doctors. The current doctors that I have, I'm not really loving. They aren't listening to my situations, my problems. So I just want to understand my body more, and I also want to be more aware so that way I can ask the questions and get the help that I need. So I'm going to be tracking a lot of health stuff, but I'm also going to be tracking a lot of my moods and stuff like that. So I'm going to be tracking that. Good thing about this printable is that there's 6 in the sheet, so it was enough for the book. The next spread is basically like a music tracker and music and podcast, like visual tracker over here. I have the same tracker in my journal. My Odyssey notebook, and I only put my favorite ones in that one. And here I did the same thing, but I have another sheet, and basically I just want to build a collection of like all the songs that I listened to over the course of the 6 months. So far I filled out a bunch because these were the ones that kind of like dropped this year. Not this one, definitely not this one. But some of them dropped this year, like Sabrina Carpenter. That I don't know. I don't think this dropped this year, but I like the album. So yeah, I have a mix of stuff that's in here that's relevant. And yeah, I just have like a favorites page. This is also something to keep me fully engaged with my planner and to also give me something else to look forward to. And then I just have another one in here. And then the back is just dot paper. Like there's nothing else. If I want to make a list of something else, I'll do that. And in the very, very back, I have a pocket with some stencils that I cut down. This is so I can do all my check boxes and whatnot. So that is my Clever Fox planner. I'm hoping that this really does the trick in terms of what I'm trying to use it for, which is just self-awareness and trying to accomplish some of my goals that I've been struggling with over the past several years. I'm just really trying to like work on me and work on some of the things that I need to do for myself. So I'm hoping that this helps with all of that and helps me stay engaged and up to date with all the things that I'm trying to focus on. All right. The next, and I don't want this video to be super duper long, so I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit. The next things that I want to share, and this is just going to be a notebook that will be used with everything. I'm just using a simple composition notebook that I will use for notes, scratch paper, and whatnot. I used to do this a lot in high school, so I'm just going back to some old habits because I feel like that's what I need right now. I just feel like I just need to go back to a basic, very inexpensive system. All right. So with that, what am I doing for my household? So my Clever Fox is not solely geared toward house stuff anymore. It's more so geared towards me and routines. And yeah, it's geared towards a lot of that. So what happens with my household? While I still work on my household stuff in my personal planner, I'm trying to make it a little bit easier for both my husband and I. We have had multiple conversations about how he can better help me, and also so we can help each other, so that neither one of us rather is tired or misunderstanding someone else's needs. So I thought it would be perfect to create a system that would help us both. So this habit calendar, I shared this before. I decided, I was like, this would be perfect. Clever Fox did send me this earlier this year, and I never got a chance to use it, and here it is today. So it is broken up into daily, weekly, and monthly. And in our house, I am the primary cook, and I also do a lot of the house chores. So I complain a lot about being tired and needing to have help. And so my husband never really understands where it is that I need the help. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to create some things that will help the both of us. So I put out a list of daily things that I usually do, which is typically like trash pull, running the dishwasher, wiping counters, checking the mail, sweeping the kitchen, vacuuming floors, laundering clothes, laundry towels, cleaning toilets and sinks, tidy kitchen. These are the things that I do on a day-to-day basis, right? So that way, if he's home, there's something that I didn't do, he can fill in the gaps and do some of these tasks that need to be done. Weekly, I have a weekly deep clean, changing bed sheets, tossing old food that we've cooked throughout Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, and dusting the house. These are some things that I usually do at the end of the week, so every Sunday, and he can also help me in these. And it's broken into weeks, so it's week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I just have the dates. So October 1st through 5th, 6th through 12th, 13th through 19th, 20 through 26. And then this one actually goes into November, so 27 through 2nd. On a month-to-month basis, we have things like cleaning the fridge, changing the air wicks, changing filters, change the Arm & Hammer box that we usually keep in our refrigerator, and cleaning the washing machine, like running the tab to clean out the washer machine so that it doesn't smell and all that other stuff. So this is some of the stuff that we can do on a month-to-month basis. So I think this will be incredibly helpful for my family, and it will hang on a wall. And I did print out a calendar that I found for 2025 is on one side. I didn't laminate it, and then 2026 is on the other side. And what I intend to do is highlight the days that we have stuff going on, and with like little those little clear or translucent little dot stickers, and also using a sticky note to maybe write what is coming up, since we don't have like a physical like wall calendar yet. But I thought this would just be helpful so that we can see. And yeah, I'm still working on a way to make it so that we can write all of our appointments. He can write his work schedules and days of training or days that he's off. So that way I'm aware of what I will be doing, because he will rotate between working nights and then working days. And it will get confusing for my family. So, and also we both have stuff that we schedule all the time. So I want to make sure that everyone is aware of what everyone is doing. And so I'm just working on some things to help my household. So these are some of the things that I've created thus far or set up. And yeah, the last thing is the super old school OG. I don't see many videos like this anymore, but it is a 3-ring 1-inch binder. I might need to get a second binder, but so far I just have a 3-ring binder that I used 100% free printables. I didn't purchase a printable. I didn't create a printable. I just downloaded a bunch of free FREE printables that anyone can get, and I just printed them out. I already get the paper and ink subscription for HP, so I wasn't worried about ink or paper because they're just going to send me more if I run low or before I run low. So I ended up printing, and I recommend that if you have the ability to get a ink and paper subscription, to do it, especially if you want to save money, because I spend like $30 for the paper and the ink. It's not the best high quality paper, but I spend like $30 for paper and ink, and I get 1,500 pages, and I get ink that lasts me for months, if not a whole year almost. And I can print as much as I need, and I get rollover pages. So I think it's a good investment if you print, or if you would like to print and then save some money. That's just me though. So yeah, this is a binder that I got from Office Max. I don't know. Is it Staples? I never can remember. However, I got it from an office supply store. And it is a 1-inch binder, and all I did was, like I do with most things that you guys know that don't come with closures, is I put some holes in there and I made a closure just so I could close it. I did go ahead and purchase like some dividers and some pockets. These things didn't come in the binder. I purchased them, and I may need more, but I made this specifically for my household. So it is not done. I am still working on this, and it will be a work in progress, but I thought I could at least share it with you all, so that if you are looking for some inspiration on a DIY project, or you want to save money for the coming year and you are on the fence about buying a planner, or buying a planner like this, specifically home stuff, home extension packs, all that good stuff, here you go. You can do it in a 3-ring binder. And this particular site that I got these inserts from, she does make quite a bit of inserts in all kinds of colors for every need that you can ever think of. And she actually makes quite a few different sizes. Pocket is not one of them, but I believe half letter and full size, which is your 8.5 by 11. And I think she has a few personal size documents that is also available on her site. I wasn't looking for those, so I'll be honest, I don't know much about that, but I do know that she's been around for quite a bit, and I used to use her inserts a long time ago. So it is Scattered Squirrel. And she has an entire document library of free printables. So like I said, I'm not done with this, and this is something that I will be making for my household. I do only have it set up for next year, and I don't know if I should print out a few inserts, at least a month's worth, and just try it first for 1 month to see if it's something that will work for my family. So I might still do that, but I definitely think I need at least a 1.5-inch binder just so I can have a little bit of room, because once I started adding stuff, it did kind of get really full with the 1-inch. But this is the perfect size. It doesn't need to be super chunky. It is the perfect size. Okay, so the first part of this is like my kitchen or meal planning area. This area is always a challenge for my household because I am the only cook. I always butt heads about being the only cook, so I'm trying to help my husband as well as myself take turns, or at least with the cooking, because it is very hard and it's very tedious when you are the only cook, and especially when I'm here with my son all day from Monday through Sunday, and I'm already cooking breakfast and lunch. I do need a little help with the dinner prep and things like that. So I thought that a section like this is beneficial for us to have. So I usually keep track of everything that we're out of, but I felt like if my husband had access to see the things that we're out of versus me texting him, then it would also help with remembering what we need and all that stuff. So I have a few of these printed out, which is just we're out of, and I like it because you can take it out and you can fold it up. When you get so many on the list, you can fold it up and take it with you to the grocery store. So I have quite a few of those. The next one is the pantry inventory. This is super helpful because I stockpiled my house some months ago. So now I have things in the basement as well as in the drawers and in the cabinets and in the pantry. I have way too many things, and quality of food has not been that great lately. So I need to remember what I have so that we can eat those things. So I have a pantry entry or inventory that I will be working on, writing in how many we have so that we don't buy the same things. We do tend to do that a lot, where we think we don't have it and we purchase it again, and then we forgot that we purchased it last time, and so now we have 2 boxes of something. So want to get better with that. So I do have like an inventory for the pantry. And then the next thing, which will be super duper helpful, is this the pantry? Okay, yeah. The next thing that will be super duper helpful is the weekly meal plan. This is an area that I used to do a lot in my plum planner. I got away from this. So you don't need a fancy smanchy, is that even a word? You don't need a fancy meal planner per se, but I wanted to have something visual and set out like this so that it was easy and all I had to do was fill it out, and now everyone has access to it. So I'm going to do also, this helps everyone not eat out so much. So now we can brainstorm some things we can all eat for lunch. So when we do our grocery shopping, we have a idea of what we're going to eat for breakfast and lunch and the kind of snacks that we're going to eat. And then we can do our meal plans here. So I do have 52 weeks worth, a whole year of meal planning. So this little section right here is really thick, and it is not printed front or back because I wanted to, if I needed to, be able to take the pages out and move them with the weeks that I'm working on. So that way, if I want to keep the week open, this little part is still visual and you don't have to flip all the way back to see it, because 8.5 by 11 binder is pretty big. And the ring size really makes it bigger. But yeah, 8.5 by 11 binder is pretty big and can get heavy. So I want to minimalize, or I want to have as minimal flipping back and forth as much as possible. The next section of this planner is indeed the planning section. And yeah, so there is a yearly overview from January through December. It is front and back. And this is just so that any upcoming events or future things that we have going on, I will put it in here. There is a blank dotted grid page, although the camera isn't picking up that this is grid, but there is some grid on here. And then it goes into this monthly overview. Basically just has like your special dates, what your top 3 things to do this month are, your monthly focus, your goals, your tasks, and notes. And then this is an end of month. So like, what were the joys and triumphs, wins, what didn't work, and ways to improve. I'm always asking my husband, what can we do to make things better? So maybe if we fill this out, maybe we can understand what each one of us needs so that we are meeting the expectations of one another. And then it goes into a giant monthly. I love this monthly. It is huge. You can get a lot of stuff in here, and it's simple. So I have this giant monthly, which I'm really excited about. And then it is a week on one page. So I decided that I wanted to go with this one for right now. And I do have all 52 weeks. But I wanted to try this one, which was just a week on one page, because this binder is 1 inch. If I would have went with a week on 2 pages, I would have needed at least 1.5 inch binder. But it is places to go, people to see, things to do, and special reminders. The one I think we'll do less of is the people to see, which you can totally just white this out or cover it or ignore it or whatever. But I do like that the places to go. So if like you need to go to a specific grocery store, and the things to do this week and the special reminders, I think those are really good. So I do have 5 weeks worth, and I won't show you all of it because it's technically the same thing. But yeah, I do have at least 5 weeks worth. The other printable that I got from that website is a week on 2 pages. And this is the one that I really like, and the one that, ooh, I'm sorry, it's upside down. The one that I really like, and the one that I think I want to use really for my home binder, home planner, is this week on 2 pages in this vertical view with your check boxes, and then down here at the bottom. So it's very similar to like your happy planner situation, and then you still have your top 3. I don't know if I meant camera. You still have your top 3. You have a little habit tracker down at the bottom, as well as space to write your meals for the week. So I think this one is better for my home planner, because I wouldn't have to move my meal planner. I wouldn't even need, well, I still like to have a meal planner so that way I can archive the meals that we do make, but you wouldn't necessarily need it with this because you have a space down here to write all your meals. So this one gives you a better visual. I don't know. I might print 52 weeks worth of this and just have it on the back burner, but I'll need a bigger binder for that because to print that would be a lot. And then for the very back, some things that are not from that website, but also some free things, which is from Day Designer, there we go. It's these packing checklists. You guys have heard me talk about them. I've used them in planners and stuff all the time. It's just the packing list. I only have a few of them in there, so when we do take our trips and when we go places, these are relatively available. I did not hole punch them because I usually use them and then throw them away. I don't keep them. So yeah, those are in there. And then there's just a couple little pockets in the back, and that is the homemade home planner situation. It is not done. I still would like to make a few things, add a couple of things, but for the most part it is set up for my family to use, me and my husband to use more specifically. It is big, but I do feel like with the 1 inch rings, it is manageable. So I kept you guys long enough. I filled you in with all the things that I'm thinking about, all the things that I was working on and whatnot. And I hope that I gave you guys some inspiration. And also, I opened your perspective of some of the things that you could use for the coming year to save yourself some money and whatnot. So if you liked today's video, please do like the video. That helps me understand what you guys like. I don't usually ask for that, but lately I'm just like, I do need to know what you guys prefer me to share, so that way I'm making content that you guys would be willing to watch. And also it does help the algorithm with telling me what my viewers want to see and all that good stuff. So definitely, if you like the video, like the video. And yeah, if you're not already following me on social media, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I do share a lot of the little sneak peeks and snippets and stuff of my life in there. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me there. As far as I can say, guys, I don't have anything else for you. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, loves.